Today in the Convergence mod, we go to the Redmane castle and we see if they changed anything, because lately we've been figuring out that they actually been adding certain parts to the building that in the base game there's not even there. For the most part, the outside it was about the same. There wasn't nothing too crazy changed, but on the side of the building there was platforms that I had to jump on instead, and it took me up and across. It's so crazy to me. And that's one thing I really like about this mod. They switch up stuff that you would normally think would just be basic, and they spice up the building so it's not feeling like I'm experiencing the exact same thing. It makes it feel like I'm genuinely playing a different game, even though it's still the same game. It just feels like there's just many updates within each new area, and I enjoy that so much. And I'm just in the beginning of the mod, so there's so much more to explore, so many buildings to explore, and I just can't wait. The actual inside of the castle, it was pretty much the same. There wasn't much change, but at the same time you can't expect every single little thing to be different. But what was different was this guy over here. But he's not different than me. We already fought him, so we got him out the way quick. I lied. After defeating him, all he did was just give me a great sword that I'm not going to be using because it's not part of my build. Also, I got a question for anyone who's played the Convergence mod. Is there like an actual correct way of progressing in this game, or do you just kind of go all over the place and just you fight who you want, but still somewhat in the correct order of, I guess, would be Margit, Godric, and so on and so forth, Relana or Radahn? I guess it would make sense if you just go about it normally, so you can actually still level up properly. But now my next thing is, should I pursue going for the new weapons, or should I just like do my best to explore the areas, or should I just put my main focus on trying to get the new weapons? Oh yeah, look at this. There's now a giant ogre here instead of the kidnappers. And low key, he was actually kind of easier. I'd say he might be easier than mainly because he got Scarlet Rot so fast. But I think the kidnappers are actually probably harder than this. Then again, I have a lot of tools that I'm using that I probably wouldn't be able to use against the kidnappers. And the way they move is very annoying. I also ended up finding 2 chests, and one of them gave me a warding remnant, which is actually really nice. But the thing is, now I got so many of them, and I already have the talismans that I need. I kind of have a whole bunch of them for semi no reason. Alright, now next up we have the boss that you fight before you fight Radahn, and usually it's that one weird looking lion, and then it's a Crucible Knight. But now there's a whole new person here, which is actually so cool. He's actually not bad at all. Now, I wasn't too sure what type of moves he was going to be doing, so I was definitely panic rolling a couple of times. Overall, he wasn't too bad. Fairly simple fight, but it was actually pretty cool though. I like that a lot. Well, that was pretty easy. Alright then. For being him, I got the Shimmer Relic Remnant, and it was actually really good. It gives me a 7.5 buff on any type of damage that I choose, whether it's physical, magic, and obviously I'm a physical type of, I play straight, just swing. Of course I gotta choose the physical one.
What is he doing?
Of war. The Radahn Festival!
I sincerely apologize for that. Now we about to fight against Radahn, and he wasn't different at all, but at the same time I wasn't expecting him to be different because Margit wasn't different. So it seems like the main bosses, they don't really change much at all, but like mini boss areas, or like places, the areas that you will fight the mini bosses in, those do seem like they change. Now with the Radahn fight, it didn't feel like I was over leveled. It actually felt like I was in the perfect spot, low key, which I was surprised about. I actually came in there expecting to be somewhat over leveled, and then I started maintaining my own. And then the Scarlet Rock kicked in because his rapier is low key godly, and he's Redmane. And I was like, oh, this is kind of simple for real. I'm actually breezing through this low key. In the base game, I never used incantations. I stayed away from that stuff. That stuff was kind of complicated, even though honestly it wasn't. But it just wasn't my playstyle. Like I said, my playstyle was just slash katanas, slash big swords. That was my playstyle. But with the Convergence mod, they actually genuinely encourage you to use your incantations, and I like that because it's putting me out of my comfort zone, and it's forcing me to use new items and new weapons. Half of the fight, I started getting torched. I don't know why. My flow was gone, and I just kept getting hit back and back and back, and I couldn't. Yeah, the way I died right there, that's a sad way to go. I cannot lie. I somehow managed to die again. And on my third attempt, we beat him. It really was like 2.5. That second one, that don't count. I barely fought him. That second one don't count. But on his third attempt, we beat him. It wasn't too bad. It actually wasn't too bad. I just was trolling at first. He barely was able to hit me. Hey, can I say that's like low-key Luffy versus Kaido? Okay, so I believe next what we're going to be doing is we're going to be heading down south. And the reason we're heading down there is because I believe in that castle there's actually a new boss, like a completely fresh boss. So I want to experience that. And also I need some more sacred tears so my flask can be more potent. That's another important thing that I need. And last thing I want to mention is Radahn's Grave Rune is actually a little bit different. It just increases your HP by 10% and your endurance, but it doesn't say nothing about your FP. So I wonder if I know why. Okay, now I know why, because in this mod you automatically gain FP, so you really don't even need a buff to your FP technically, but it still will help though, right? Whatever, I'm not too sure, but maybe they just changed it to change it. All right, next episode we either going to figure out if we can find a new weapon, or we just going to go see this new boss down at the bottom of Limgrave Castle.